Preparing to live stream the meeting. That means that the meeting is live streamed. It's already on. So welcome to the Nova Solar Exploration Experience. We're going to raise some funds for some good causes and have a friendly conversation with the supporters of that organization about the benefits of solar energy. Should be real fun. But we're going to start with letting Harry in since he's the first one here. Welcome, Harry. Thanks for being punctual. You're muted. Are you out for a walk or getting ready to go to a meeting or away from a meeting?
There, do you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
So, man, one of the only things we ask is that you not be driving when you're on, because your life is more important than solar energy. You have some time at 8, or you want to come join us next week, or you want to just sit in your car?
I'm good. I'm actually just sitting in my car.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure that you're safe. You look sharp. What were you up to today?
I walked out of a meeting.
maybe it was a good time for a takeaway close. You know, you like walk away, and next thing you know, people want to see you more. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly.
Were you glad to get out of that meeting, or is it kind of like a bummer that you had to leave?
No, actually, I was really glad to get out because that means I get to go home.
Are you supporting our comedian school? Is that who you came for tonight?
Yes, sir. My son goes there.
Man, that's a great school.
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel like I'm back at school.
Trying to help with the homework and like.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That, you know, when I was in college, I sold books to pay for college to families that help them help their kids with homework. And I've had thousands of parents tell me that they try to help their kids out, but if you don't use it, you lose it. And even if you do remember it, you end up showing them the wrong way to do it. They're like, that's not how the teachers showed us. How are you already to that stage where you're getting
Oh yeah.
Well, man, thank you for showing up. Thanks for supporting the school. We'll be through tonight. We're going to start right on time at 6.
Perfect.
We'll people. And we'll be done at 6:25 is when it will be over. And you're perfect. And, you know, it's even possible to make it shorter than that, because really what this is for is an easy fundraiser and an easy way to learn about solar energy combined. And we've helped people go solar, Harry, in 15 different states now. The only way we do it is word of mouth and through campaigns where we're giving money to good schools like our comedians. So that keeps all of our marketing costs low, which keeps solar prices low for the people who use our service. So this is kind of like a good person discount that you get if you did choose to use solar because of the way you heard about it. So thanks for showing up.
Sure.
Are you kind of I don't have the thing that you said when you registered. When you signed up, did you say you were a newbie or that you've been meaning to look into solar?
I am like newbie as can be.
So I guess just to make sure, Miami, I know typically is known for this, but does the sun shine where you live?
Yes.
And do you use electricity?
Too much, because I mean, I'm already hitting 200 plus already, and we're still in May.
So the sunshine can make that electricity for you for less. And that's the big secret that people don't know. And so we're going to have fun. We're going to keep it real short. And then Luke's going to drop a thing in the chat box. We'll create a design for you just because you showed up. It'll have some numbers on it for you just because you showed up. Thank you for being here tonight. And then there's a way that you can get back in touch to continue the conversation if you like what you hear. But I'm just grateful that you showed up. Newbies are fine with us.
Okay.
I was a newbie 7 years ago. What's that, Aaron?
So you did this 7 years ago?
It's when we started. I started in solar 7 years ago, and we started Ova Nova 6 years ago when we realized how much money solar companies were wasting on Facebook ads and stuff like that. And we just thought, man, it would be a lot better to give that money to communities and good causes, because we remember being in school and trying to sell candy bars and cookie dough and wrapping paper. And it was just always tough. You know, usually mom ended up buying it all and taking it to the office.
Oh, I know that all too well.
So hopefully, at the very least, this will be the easiest fundraiser y'all have done. It is 6 o'clock and you're on time. So is it all right with y'all if we go ahead and get started so we can be respectful of your time this evening?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks for being here. So first, this is how it's going to work. We're going to do some introductions. We believe everybody's a human and it's good to know each other since this is a conversation. That's what raises the funds. So if you were wondering, like, what do I have to do to raise funds? You just show up, turn your camera on, and introduce yourself. And if you introduce yourself, then that's the fundraiser. And then we've got 25 minutes for just rapid fire solar Q&A. I've got stuff to share with you if you want to see it. That's up to y'all. But at 24 minutes from now, I'll stop and give everybody a chance to register if you'd like to hear more about your particular property, or to hop off, or to hang out for another hour and a half if you want to with me. But the fundraiser part is quick and easy. So let's get started. I guess I'll introduce myself first. I'm Lester. I'm that guy that looks way too serious there. But, if there's dinosaurs in the background, kind of bring some serious stuff on. And then we've got Luke, who's actually here with us tonight. John's one of the co-founders of Ovanova, and he's actually installing solar himself at one of my friends' homes in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Trey's a carpenter that's helping John do that. Chris Snodgrass is our engineer who just graduated from Pitt. And then Holly's our super mom. Moms, we know you're busy. That's one of the reasons we're so we're going to make this short and sweet tonight. She's got a couple of beautiful kids she's with, so she's not here this night, but any of us might end up being the ones who talk to you. But this is our company. We're not some giant organization. We're just a few people who thought, wouldn't it be awesome to find some new way to tell people how cool solar is and then help them do it as affordably as possible if they wanted to. So that's what we do. Thank you for being here. Let's do this easy fundraiser. Harry, we can start with you. If you just want to say your name, location, and the organization you came to support, the fundraiser will be over.
Sure. My name is Harry Duchatellier. I'm in Miami, Florida, and I'm representing our comedian schools where my sons go.
Cool. Well, thank you for showing up. You just raised $50. Was that challenging?
Thank you. That was the easiest $50.
We're getting ready to switch in a couple of weeks to 25 and then 25 if people come back. But y'all are still in the $50 phase, so congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Harry, who would you like to hear from next?
I'm actually, I don't see anyone here on my screen, so I don't know who to reach out to yet.
Any volunteers? Nancy, you want to go? It looks like you're on mute.
Sure. Nancy Torga. My boys go to Archimedean as well.
Archimedean's a great school. Thank you for showing up. We've had so much fun with you. So I guess that means you're in Miami or close to it then?
Yes, Miami.
Cool, Nancy. Can you see all the other folks on the screen? Is there anybody?
No, I cannot. I can only see you.
Okay, can you see you might want to turn the screen around or something if you're on your phone, and then you'll be able to see. Do you see like a slide now that's got some dinosaurs on it? Me and John?
Yes.
Okay. No, you don't see that. Well, Harry, you're going to miss a lot of fun stuff. You might want to turn your screen sideways. Sometimes that does the trick. But how about you, Ashley? I can see your face. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hey, I'm Ashley. My daughter plays softball for TC SWAT.
Yeah, I heard that it's starting. Y'all are almost done because the sun melts you guys in the summer. Or melts.
Yes, we're in Florida, Port St. Lucie, Florida. So yeah, it's getting pretty hot. Well, Miami knows it's the same down there.
Well, you just raised $50 for your daughter's softball team. Thank you for showing up and joining the conversation. Do you want to pick somebody, or do you want me to pick it for you?
I see Harry, Luke.
Yeah, I'm Luke. I'm a part of the Ovanova team, so just here to support the organizations y'all are here to support. And I'm currently living in Indianapolis, so it's nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you.
Luke, who do you want to hear from next?
Let's go with Gabrielle.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle. I am here supporting the United States Naval Sea Cadet Corps, the American Victory Division. I am also in Florida. I live in Tampa now, but I grew up down in South Florida, so I can totally appreciate all the heat you guys are talking about because it is hot here in Tampa. We need some rain.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah, yeah, it's bad. So that's my story.
Well, we're grateful to support American Victory Divisions. Thank you for having Luke's dad just retired as a colonel.
Awesome.
So thank you for sending kids into service or supporting them when they're there, Gabriel. Appreciate you being there. You just raised $50 for them. Well done. So we have Mo left. If that's actually Mo, is that your name or is that somebody else?
No, that's me. My name's Moita Claves. I'm from Miami, and I also represent Archimedean. My son goes to Archimedean school, and my older son graduated from there. So I'm always supporting them whenever I can. And I am interested in solar panels. So yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Here I am.
well, if you want to save yourself a bunch of time at any point during this, if you want to click the chat box, there's a link where you can get back in touch with us and you can bop out whenever you want. Like, we designed this so that people could ask questions. Usually people have the same questions, and if they don't answer it, they're glad somebody else did. But thanks for supporting our comedian, putting a kid through there already and showing up, and you just raised $50 for the school. Nothing else is required.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we think it's worth it to bribe people to learn about solar energy because it's such a cool thing. I just don't know. So Lena, or I believe did I say your name? Lena? Let me ask you to unmute.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Lena from Miami, Florida, and I'm supporting Archimedean schools. My son attends the school, and yes.
So a lot of y'all might know each other, or you've seen each other at practices or school events before COVID, I guess.
Yes, before COVID.
Well, thank you for showing up to support your son. We're grateful to have you tonight.
Thank you.
And then Andres, I think, is the only one that's left.
Yes, hi, how are you? This is Andres. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Great. Who'd you come to support?
Well, nobody.
Oh, I know you, Andres. Andres, we connected with because he's actually the contractor who's a brilliant electrician who's actually installing one of our projects in Texas right now. And we just invited him to see how it went so he could see how we meet people. What do you think so far, Andres? This is how we go about meeting people. We just give money away and bribe them to learn.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good plan that you have there. So like you say, it's a very easy way to donate $50 to people like needs, like the schools and all that. So it's a great program, and you're teaching people about solar and how they can go and get into that.
Yeah, we like it. So thank y'all for showing up. We have 17 minutes left and we will be done. So what I like to do is start with like 4 really cool facts about solar. And then I want to be quiet and just let y'all ask any question that you have. And if you don't have any, that's okay too. But there's a lot of things I could show you, but your time is the most important thing. And one thing we learned from talking to 500 people this spring is that if you bore people to death the first time, they don't want to come see you again. And then we can't help people go solar. So, but I'll be here I'm glad to be here as long as you would like me to be here. Here's 4 things people love about solar. And I'm curious, by a show of hands, after I go through each of these, if this is new information to you. How many of y'all already knew that the government would pay for 26% of your entire solar system by letting you keep your taxes? Lena, that's new information. Who's that new information for? 1, 2, 3. You know, that 4, that was that. I mean, isn't it crazy? Like, why do y'all think the government would do that? Like, by the way, this was started under Obama and extended under Trump. So it's got bipartisan support. Any idea why?
To save energy?
You know how much, Nancy, we spend on electricity a day as a country?
I can imagine. I
So-
spend a lot in my house.
You know, and add up everybody on here and then all the other millions of people. It's $1 billion a day that we spend just for this silly process called, you know, blowing up pieces of the planet to make water hot so we can spin magnets. That's where our electricity comes from. And all this is about tonight is a different place your electricity can come from, which is like the sunshine. And so the government thinks it makes sense to help you out with that. So you will get a 26% tax credit for the entire cost of your system, installation, and everything. Number 2, you'll increase the value of your property. If you look at a Zillow study, they say it's 4%. we think that's a kind of silly way to go about measuring the value. So we actually work with real estate agents. Are any of y'all thinking about selling your home at some point in the not distant future? I know you probably couldn't find another one if you sold it with the real estate market the way it is right now. But when you do sell it, you'll increase the value of your property. The way we work with real estate agents to teach them that the true value is not some imaginary percentage. It's the value of the energy that your solar system can produce. So here's an example with a Duke customer down close to Tampa of where they were spending $127 a month. Over 25 years, that works out to be $38,000. The reason we use 25 years is because that's the warranty period of your solar panels. They'll last longer than that, but the warranty is for 25 years. So you know that you can count on producing this much electricity. And if this family had bought it from Duke, they would have paid $40,000. Owning solar cost them $20,000. And after the tax credit was $15,000. So it's like putting in a kitchen that's worth 40 grand for $15,000. The difference between these two is the true increase in your home value. So I know I just went fast, and I know that math confuses people, but does anybody have any questions, or does it kind of make logical sense that a house that can make its own electricity would be worth more?
Yes, it would be budget.
Cool. And then third thing, this is usually shocks everybody. As a lot of people are like, well, I understand that solar saves money long-term, but it's really expensive upfront. Have any of y'all heard that? Like, thought there was a big upfront payment? Well, I've got some really good news for you, Gabrielle. Is it Gabrielle or Gabrielle? I couldn't remember how you said your name.
It's Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, I apologize for saying your
problem.
name incorrectly. So good news, because I saw you shaking your head. You can actually go solar the same way most people buy an iPhone now. Where you like walk in the store and you walk out with it and you start using it and you don't pay anything, and then you just pay monthly. So unlike a home where there's a down payment, solar requires 0 down payment. And so if you want to do it, you can. And the best part is that you don't have to get another job to afford it, because you just use the money that you don't send to FPL or TICO to pay your solar loan with. So that's just some facts for y'all, that just to say simply that if you wanted to use solar, you could. So the question I always ask folks, and now we have 12 minutes left for Q&A, and then as long after as you would like. I'm just curious, Nancy, what kind of, or anybody, what kind of questions do you guys have? These are some that almost everybody has, but I don't want to prompt you unless these are what things you'd like to learn about. Does anybody have any questions about solar? Like if your mom or best friend was going to buy it for you, things you'd want to know before you put it on your house or on your property?
I have a question. Is it like one fits all, or is it customized per house?
Customized with us. There are some companies who do a one size fits all, but can I show you how we decide how many panels you need?
Yeah, please.
Like Mo, do you remember when you registered, you told us that you spend a certain amount of electricity per month?
Yeah.
We'll use that number when we create your design, and then we go into our software, and this thing shows us where the sun is in January at noon and where it is April at 6 o'clock in the morning. And at 6 o'clock in the morning in April, believe it or not, this house actually keeps those solar panels from receiving light. If you live somewhere with trees, it's just calculating the tree shading. So then we can know exactly how many solar panels you need over the course of a year to make as much electricity as you need to make. And it's only limited by your roof space or something like that. But this is what we do. This is what, when we invite you back to a one-on-one meeting, because you just might not like the way they look there. You might not want them back here. So we can just click and take them off. Say, no problem, Mo. You don't like them there? Let's get rid of them. Now let's look and see how much electricity that will make compared to what you need to make. And that's our service. Like, solar is pretty simple, but you have to know how to answer questions like, how many panels do I need? And it's determined by how much electricity you need to make and how much light those panels receive. So that's how we customize it for you. And we also talk to you about, are you going to get an electric car? Do you have a teenage daughter who's about to move out of the house? There's probably a lot fewer showers and hot water. You know, your electricity bill might drop. We look at everything and do a complete analysis for you so that you get exactly what you want and what you need, not just something that we're trying to sell you. You can get any type of panel you want. So,
okay. Can panels only go on the roof or anywhere else?
Whoa, thank you for playing along. This is fun. They can go anywhere. Now, what most people don't know is that it's a really good idea to put them on your roof because they make your roof last longer. Since the rain and the wind is not hitting the roof directly. It also is like putting a shade tree on your house because there's an air gap that keeps the roof from heating up as hot as it would. So you need less air in the summer. Kind of cool. But to answer Mo's question directly, no, you could get them in your yard. And the reason most people think those silver ones are kind of ugly. So if we put them on your house, we only use black ones. They're all black. But you can build a pergola beside your house. You could have a walkway with solar on it. If you have a big yard, you might want to build a pavilion for the neighborhood to come party with you. But we can help you with all of that. We always start out placing on the house because you already have a structure that's pre-built called your home.
Right.
But if you want to do something else, even if it takes 6 months or a year to do, we're not in a hurry. We just know that every month you have an electricity bill that's coming that's never going to go away. And so the hurry is getting rid of that debt because Mo, you own your home. Why do you own your home instead of renting? What's the advantage to ownership?
Well, yeah, you definitely save money and it's kind of an investment.
Same thing with solar. Instead of renting your electricity, you can own your power. So thank you for your questions. Did I answer those well enough, or would you like me to go deeper into can you get it?
No, it's perfect. Thank you. So how do you deal with association fees, management? Do they need to support? Are they supporting, or is there like an issue?
And then two would be the second thing.
Yeah. What's that?
Insurance. Your insurance on your home.
Absolutely. So first of all, homeowners associations legally cannot stop you from going solar. What they can do is they can say you have to use all black panels. They can even be really extreme and say that you need to camouflage your panels. These are actually solar panels. They just have camo on top of them. Or they can say you can only use a certain side of your house. Or they can say you have to have a permission slip from your neighbor. But usually what they say is refer to rule 101.683, and then we help you read that and say what it means and give them what they need in order for them to approve what you're doing. So and some places don't care at all, but we walk with you hand in hand through all that. And part of the process, Nancy, is actually checking your homeowner's insurance. Because first of all, here's something kind of neat. The way you know that your panels are working, because it's not like they sing or anything, but there's an app that shows you how much electricity you're making, how much is going to the grid, how much your house is using. And so, because that made me think of that when you talked about insurance, because insurance is really about not wanting to lose your investment if a hurricane comes along, right?
Right.
And so we check people's insurance to make sure that they have enough. Almost always that's the case. If you are an FPL customer and you have a system that's over a certain size, you have to increase your liability coverage, and it works out to be a couple of $100 a year. And usually people's solar savings is more than that still, but it's just part of the algebra equation that we could work out together. No problem. Good question.
Is there a battery bank that you guys carry as well on the solar?
Yeah, let me show you how that works. So there's three ways to go solar. One is with just solar water heating. Y'all might have friends and neighbors who heat their pools with their solar.
Yeah.
Those things break eventually because water runs through them and they mess up roofs. So if you've heard bad stuff about solar messing up roofs, it's probably the kind that does solar water heating. The second way to go solar is without a battery. And all of y'all live in places where it is totally cool to not have a battery because you have a utility company that, believe it or not, actually is cool with solar. So during the day, your panels are receiving sunlight and turning it into electricity. Your house eats first. You make it at home, your house eats whatever it needs. And then it sends the rest back out to your neighbors on the power lines. So you're still attached to the utility. And then you get what's called rollover. I call them rollover minutes. Some utility companies call it a solar bank, but it's a credit so that at nighttime, when you're not making electricity, you just trade in a credit for that electricity from what you've put on later on. Now, as far as a battery goes, so you do not need a battery to benefit from solar energy. Here's an example of a guy in Texas. He bought $93. Or do you have a question, Nancy? Or
yeah, what
okay.
happens in a hurricane?
Yeah, so I'm going to, let me just answer you directly.
Sorry.
If you have
We're in Florida. That's the only thing I'm going to think about.
if you have a hurricane and the power lines go down and you do not have a battery, you will not have power because you are putting power on the lines and it could shock somebody who's working on them. However, if you have a battery, which you can totally get, and they're really sexy. This is, let me show you a picture of one that we put up in Virginia like 2 days ago, if I can find it here. This is what they look like. Nice case. This is 20 kilowatt hours of storage. This is a type of inverter that those doomsday preppers use. This is like an American Victory Division tool right here. Solar,
compared to some other ones.
Yeah, they're really, really nice. And we charge, y'all don't know this yet, but part of what we do at our service is that we charge wholesale for everything. So you pay what we pay for your equipment. So batteries, people end up saving like $10,000 on normally $10,000 to $15,000. And it's a much better setup. And if you have a battery, what happens is 4 milliseconds, which is the quarter of a time it takes for a butterfly to flap its wing, not a butterfly, a hummingbird to flap its wing, then your power will kick back on after a storm. Having a battery is like having a generator, but you don't even have to fill it up with fuel because the sunshine fills it up for you every day. So even if the lights are out for a month, the sun comes up every day and puts the gas in your generator, i.e. sunlight turns to electricity in your battery. And if you get an electric car, then your gas station is on top of your house now. So it's really cool.
How long does the battery last?
It's guaranteed for 4,000 cycles, which means when it goes all the way down to 20% and then up again, that's a cycle. And so that's almost 11 years if you used it every day. And in some places like Tennessee, Luke's dad, his utility company wouldn't pay him anything for those minutes he shared with his neighbors. And so it made more sense to get a bunch of batteries and use his every day. Most of y'all are only going to be using your batteries in one of two situations: after a storm, or when you can make your electricity or buy it for less, and then you can program your batteries to sell it when electricity prices are higher, and then you can actually make money in an arbitrage type situation. So
I thought Florida law, to sell it, requires to sell it.
No, you can sort. You don't even have to be connected to the grid. I've called FPL 3 times just to make sure I didn't mishear them. I've got it recorded somewhere. Like, you could go completely off the grid if you wanted to, but the most intelligent, but it costs a lot more because you need a lot more solar panels to make sure on that December day. Like, for instance, the way most people do it is you make more than you need during some parts of the year, and then you get those credits to trade in whenever you need them when there's not as much sunlight.
Okay.
And so the most intelligent way to do it, the least expensive way to do it, is no batteries. The coolest way to do it, so you don't have to hightail to Georgia after the next hurricane, is to get some batteries and then just stay connected to FPL or TECO for $8, $10 a month so that you have all the electricity you need when you want it. But you're making credits like my friend here who bought $93 worth of electricity at night, but during the day, he made all that his house needed plus $107 more So they actually owed him $15 at the end of the month that he could then use as a credit during the times of the year whenever he is not making enough. And you have a full year to use those credits where y'all live.
Okay, 4 years. Okay.
If you're with TECO or FPL and you make more than you needed for the year, they'll pay you wholesale. They'll actually write you a check. Duke just says thanks for the extra electricity. And in Houston, there's a place called Green Mountain Energy, and it will actually allow you to sell your credits back at full price, like retail, which is kind of cool. But it's 25 minutes after. I'm not in a hurry. I've got until 8 o'clock. But if you heard something that sounded good, my invitation is to continue exploring. It's just us. We're super nice. We'll be glad to zoom in on your property, make sure that your electricity usage is right. And I'll show you how to do that and keep answering questions. But we're done as far as the fundraiser. Thank y'all for being here. And we'd love to help you continue exploring solar. Sometimes people say, why y'all? Well, I don't know. That's up to you. But if you like to spend a heck of a lot less for things and have really friendly people tell you the truth in your decision-making process, like that's what we're for. So whatever is convenient for y'all, just add a time, bring your actual energy usage to the call, and we'll design a system with you based on where you want your panels, what kinds you want, and walk you through all your options, and then give you as much time as you would like to think about it, tell you where to get other quotes or anything that you need to do. So that's how you sign up if you'd like to continue exploring with us. And I'm here for another hour and a half if anybody just wants to hang out and learn. I'm not in a hurry.
Thank you. Just a quick question, if I may. So you're saying that FPL or the electricity companies, they charge, is it the same charge like per month, or is it like percentage, or is monthly?
Yeah, it's a monthly charge to stay connected to the lines and to pay them for putting this new box on your house. You know how you have that thing that counts how much electricity you use?
Right.
Well,
The meter?
The meter, yeah. Well, you get a new meter that can count how much you're selling back too. That's how they keep track of your credits. So Luke, do you know how much FPL is and TECO is off the top of your head, their monthly charge?
FPL is $8.35 and TECO is $14 and around 50 and some change.
Yeah. So even if you made all of your electricity, you would still have that charge. And it's worth it. Just so, you know, if the family comes over or there's a long extended cloudy period, it's nice to be able to get the electricity you need, but to not have to buy more than you need. Because probably the single biggest thing about solar that's underappreciated is that even when we're talking about prices, all of y'all will find out tomorrow. Is there anybody here that doesn't want us to create a free design for you and send it to you before we get back together? I don't want to spam you up. Then one of the things that we'll do when we create it is, I don't even know what I was saying. I'm just rambling now. What else you guys? So we'll create a design. Oh, even with the prices being what they are, which this is hard to hear, but you can spend no dollars up front, have your solar installed, and then have a solar payment that is less than your electricity bill that goes away because you're no longer paying your utility company to make electricity for you. You're just paying them a small fee to stay connected. And even with that being true, people, you know, it's your property. You have questions, like you have concerns. And that's what we created this for, was just to help you get those answered in a friendly way. So thank y'all for joining us. What else are y'all wondering about? Nancy, you have anything else you want to know? I've got like 10 million slides here. I could show you all kinds of things.
No, I'm for today. I will be setting up another meeting though to follow up.
Cool. Well, we're looking forward to meeting you. What did you hear that made you think it was worth setting up a time to come back and see us again?
We were interested in off the grid, and we were interested in solar panels for a good minute now.
Well, if y'all want to go off the grid, we can help you. Luke's dad did it. It's more expensive that way, but it can be done.
Perfect.
And we even have an EMP hardened. So if like a nuclear weapon goes off and it shuts all the lights off from an electromagnetic pulse, like we could protect you in that too. So I usually don't bring that up, but if you're thinking about going off grid, for all I know, you're thinking about survival and those basic.
Yes.
So, so we'll discuss all those options with you. Look, did you already pick a time? Do you have the thing in the chat box to pick a time?
I don't see that. Hold on.
Okay. Check out, if you go to and click on the link. That's the easiest way to pick a time. You can change it anytime you need to. It's easy
Hold on,
to
I
reschedule.
totally lost you now. Hold on.
You'll see it on your design tomorrow too.
Okay, perfect.
So chat box, did you find the chat?
Nope.
Harry, do you see your
No,
chat?
I just have to take my son to practice.
I don't see anything, so I'm
Nope.
just following along, but I hope I get everything tomorrow.
Yeah, too.
Well, we'll make sure that you get it. In fact, Luke, if you could
Okay.
take a note to send them a text when we send it, so you can make sure it didn't go to your spam. What you'll see
Okay.
is it'll look just like this. So just so you know what you're looking for in your mailbox, you'll receive something that will say, here's your cost with the utility company. Here's what it would cost for you to go solar. Here's your payoff date with the utility company. It's never. With this loan, it's 21 years. And when your solar panels are paid off, they still keep working and they keep making electricity. So this is an example of somebody that could save $13 a month without spending a dime by going solar. You will see a standard option, which shows you everything transparently: the size of your system, what we would earn, to keep giving more money to more people to bribe them to learn about solar, what the contractors earn. And this will be based on the number of panels we put it on your property. That's what determines all these prices, nothing else. You'll see how much the panels cost. You'll see the rapid shutdown, this is inverters that you need, racking to keep it on your house during a hurricane, shipping all the heavy equipment, combiner boxes. And this thing, to know, this $3,000 or whatever this number is for you, that's not money we intend to spend. But sometimes we find out that there's termite damage when we climb up in the rafters. Sometimes we find out that you need a new main panel upgrade to handle your system. And we don't find that out until engineering. So we just start out with a worst case scenario price. And Nancy, what do you think we do with this money at the end if we don't spend it, which we usually don't?
Usually give it back to us, to the customer.
Yep, we give it back to you. And we also give you back anything we don't spend on the equipment. And then you'll see your battery options page. And you can see the difference between batteries and not batteries and why we chose the equipment that we did. You'll see that you pay dealer pricing, not retail, for the batteries. You can get as many or as few as you would like. And there's a way to just click a link. If you can't find the chat, you can click here to reconnect and co-create a design that fits your personal needs. You can use the first page and you can click here, but it's just going to take you to the same page where it's just a time for you to get back in touch. But thank y'all for asking such good questions. We'll make sure to send that to you, and we'll send you a text, Harry and Nancy, to make sure that you got it.
Sure.
Thank
Great.
you so much. That's
Yeah, thank y'all. Looking for, we have a bunch of time open on Saturday, so if y'all get bored.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So I'm planning on building a pool in my backyard. So when we do this design and we estimate how many panels I need, do you guys take in consideration if I add on more charge to the panels?
That's exactly why we do individual consultations. It's not so we can trap you in a corner and try to make you buy something. It's so we can have conversations just like that. So what I would ask you is, what type of, are you planning on using a pool heater?
Yes.
Okay. And then are you planning on having one of those variable speed pumps
I mean, we haven't gotten that far in with the pool company yet, but basically it's going to be just a heater and some jets, nothing major, and I think one LED light.
Yeah, nothing. So that's not an incredible amount of energy. So we can estimate it and just put an extra 10% over what you believe that you need. Or we can talk to your pool company as we get into the engineering part of the job. If you're like, yeah, I want to move forward, I'm okay with moving forward with the preliminary design. But then we could call the pool company and say, hey, what kind of heaters, Harry, are you going to have? How much electricity does it use? How many hours do you anticipate it will be running? And then it's just a math equation to figure out how much extra we need to add.
Excellent. Excellent.
Good question. What else are you? Any other thing else you're wondering about?
No, not the top of my head right now. I'm just looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, we're excited about getting you the information, Harry, and you'll see ways to get back in touch with us.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So from start to finish, what's the ETA on all this?
If you said, like, if you got your thing tomorrow and then you set up a time to talk to us on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, and you said, I'm ready to do it and I'm going to pay cash, it would probably still be 3 months because of Miami permitting. Because in order to put solar up, you have to get a permit to make sure that it's engineered for the hurricanes and they're not going to fly off when the hurricanes come. And so the longest part of the process will be that. The actual installation is anywhere, I haven't seen your home yet. It's anywhere from 1 to 4 days, depending on the size. And 90% of that is done outside of your home. So it's a very quick job. What takes the long part is waiting for the permits and then waiting for the inspections. And so I would say, if you didn't want to be disappointed and you told yourself it was going to be 3 to 6 months, we might get lucky. There's a friend of ours in Texas who's going to have his solar in under a month from when he decided to do it. And that's even with a week of financing and another week of changing his mind about what he wanted. So, like, I believe, but you live in Miami, you don't live in Gerald, Texas. So there are more restrictions and therefore more planning, more engineering, and more acceptance stuff, but you don't have to do any of it. We do all of that for you to make your life easy, unless you want to do it yourself, and then we'll show you how you could do it yourself.
I'll pass.
We just want you to use solar, man, because the world needs it right now. It would make a lot more. Did you see that pipeline thing go down a couple of weeks ago? That Colonial pipeline? Did you see that when people were going out and buying up all that gas like crazy?
Oh, yes.
We just think it'd make a heck of a lot more sense if we had electric cars and then the gas stations were on top of our house. And then the gas cars were just performance cars that we drove for fun occasionally, So Harry, you'll get that tomorrow, maybe even tonight. Luke will send it to you. Click on it. We'll get back in touch, and it can take as little or as long as you would like it to, but we can't jump around the permits.
Okay, sure. Excellent. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's fine. I'm gonna hop off now. Sorry, guys. I gotta go pick up the kids.
Hey, go have fun, brother. Thank you for supporting our community.
Thank you.
You'll see. Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Lester, I will see you at 8.
Yeah, well, that was a lot more fun, huh?
That was way more fun.
Yeah, people are smart. I love the Archimedean school people. They get things quickly. They're high performance parents. They really do understand things. I love working with this school. So I'll see you at 8 o'clock, Mr. Luke.
Cool.
Oh, Harry's still on here. Hey, I was bragging on you.
Harry's getting the full scoop on what we talk about immediately after this meeting. Most people must think we're like talking about what we did wrong, but no, we just talk good about people.